The British Empire was vast. It spanned the globe, reaching every corner of the world. For centuries, it ruled over diverse lands and people, establishing a presence that was both influential and controversial. From the Americas to Asia, its influence was felt everywhere, shaping the political, social, and economic landscapes of numerous regions. This empire left a complex legacy, one that continues to be studied and debated by historians and scholars. It impacted culture in profound ways, leaving behind a blend of traditions and practices that are still evident today. This essay explores the cultural impact of British rule, delving into the nuances of how it shaped societies. We will focus on India, a country that was significantly influenced by British colonialism. India offers a compelling case study, showcasing the complexities of colonial influence. It vividly illustrates the interplay of cultures, where British and Indian traditions merged and sometimes clashed. We will examine both positive and negative aspects, understanding the multifaceted impact of British rule. Our aim is to understand this shared history better, to appreciate the depth of its influence. The British Empire's reach was immense, covering vast territories and diverse populations. Its impact on culture was undeniable, affecting language, education, and governance. From language to law, its influence was felt in every sphere, leaving a lasting legacy. Understanding this impact is crucial, as it helps us comprehend the present-day cultural dynamics. It helps us make sense of the world today, providing context for the cultural exchanges and influences that shape our global society.
One of the most significant impacts was the spread of the English language. As the language of administration, education, and trade, English became deeply ingrained in Indian society. This had a profound impact on communication. English opened doors to Western knowledge and literature. It facilitated commerce and interaction with the wider world. However, it also created a linguistic divide. This divide often favored the elite who had access to English education. The spread of English was a double-edged sword. It brought opportunities but also inequalities. It became a tool of power, shaping access to education and employment.
The interaction between English and Indian languages led to the emergence of new linguistic forms. Hinglish, a blend of Hindi and English, became a common language in North India. Similarly, Singlish developed in Singapore, reflecting the fusion of English with local dialects. These hybrid languages are a testament to the dynamism and adaptability of language. They reflect the creative ways in which people adapt to cultural change. They also challenge the notion of linguistic purity. The fusion of languages went beyond mere vocabulary. It influenced grammar, pronunciation, and even gestures. This linguistic fusion reflects the complex interplay of cultures under British rule. The British Empire was a melting pot of cuisines. British culinary traditions were influenced by the flavors and ingredients of their colonies. India, with its rich culinary heritage, had a particularly significant impact. Spices like pepper, cinnamon, and cloves became staples in British kitchens. Dishes like chicken tikka masala, a British invention inspired by Indian flavors, gained immense popularity. The exchange of culinary ideas was not one-sided. British baking techniques and ingredients like flour and sugar also found their way into Indian cuisine. This led to the evolution of new dishes and culinary traditions.
Section 5. Architectural influences, a fusion of styles. British architecture left an indelible mark on the landscape of India. Grand colonial buildings, railway stations, and churches were built in various architectural styles, reflecting the grandeur and power of the empire. However, these structures were often juxtaposed with traditional Indian architectural elements. This fusion of styles is evident in buildings like the Victoria Memorial in Kolkata and the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus in Mumbai. The architectural landscape of India became a testament to the confluence of cultures. It reflected both the imposition of British aesthetics and the adaptation and resistance of local traditions.
Section 6. Governance and Law, a Legacy of Systems. The British introduced new systems of governance and law in India. These systems, based on Western models, aimed to establish order and efficiency. The Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure, and the Indian Evidence Act are examples of this legal legacy. While these systems brought about some positive changes, such as the abolition of sati and the promotion of education, they were often criticized for being alien and ill-suited to Indian society. The legal and administrative systems introduced by the British had a lasting impact on India. They continue to shape the country's legal framework and administrative practices to this day. Section 7. Education and literature shaping minds. Education was a key tool of British influence. The British established universities and schools, introducing Western education and literature to India. This had a profound impact on the intellectual landscape of the country. Indian students were exposed to new ideas, philosophies, and literary traditions. This led to the emergence of a new generation of Indian intellectuals who engaged with Western thought while also rediscovering and reinterpreting their own traditions. The introduction of Western education had a lasting impact on India. It led to the rise of a new intellectual class and played a significant role in shaping the country's nationalist movement. Section 8. Social changes, tradition meets modernity. British rule brought about significant social changes in India. The abolition of sati, the practice of widow burning, was a major social reform. The British also worked towards eradicating other social evils, such as female infanticide and caste-based discrimination. However, British attempts to reform Indian society were often met with resistance. Traditional social structures and beliefs proved resilient. The clash between tradition and modernity led to complex social tensions. The social changes introduced by the British had a mixed legacy. While some reforms were welcomed, others were seen as intrusions into traditional ways of life. Section 9. The Indian perspective. Voices of resistance and change. It is crucial to acknowledge the Indian perspective on this cultural encounter. While British rule brought about significant changes, it was often experienced as a form of cultural domination. Indian voices of resistance and dissent emerged, challenging British hegemony. Indian intellectuals and leaders criticized British policies and asserted their cultural identity. They sought to revive and preserve Indian traditions, while also selectively adopting aspects of Western thought and culture. The Indian response to British rule was complex and multifaceted. It involved resistance, adaptation, and the emergence of a new national consciousness.
Section 10. A shared heritage, embracing complexity. The cultural impact of the British Empire on India is a complex and nuanced issue, one that has left an indelible mark on the subcontinent. It is a story of both domination and exchange, of loss and adaptation, where the lines between oppressor and influenced blur in the tapestry of history. It is essential to approach this history with sensitivity and a willingness to acknowledge multiple perspectives, understanding that each narrative holds its own truth. Recognizing the lasting impact of British rule on India does not diminish the country's rich cultural heritage or its resilience in the face of colonialism. Instead, it highlights the strength and adaptability of Indian culture. Instead, it allows for a more comprehensive understanding of the forces that have shaped modern India, from its legal systems to its educational frameworks and even its architectural marvels. The legacy of the British Empire is woven into the fabric of Indian society, influencing everything from language to cuisine and even social norms. Understanding this legacy is essential for comprehending the complexities of India today as it navigates its path forward while honoring its multifaceted past. Section 11. Conclusion. The enduring legacy. The cultural impact of the British Empire on India continues to be felt today, resonating through various aspects of daily life and societal structures. From the widespread use of the English language in education and business to the legal system that still follows many British precedents, the influence is undeniable. The architectural landscape, too, bears the marks of this historical period, with grand colonial buildings standing alongside modern structures. Even in the realm of cuisine, the legacy is evident, with dishes that blend Indian spices and British culinary techniques. This enduring legacy is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of both positive and negative experiences, enriching in some ways while problematic in others. As we have seen, the cultural exchange between Britain and India was a two-way street, leading to a unique fusion of traditions and the emergence of new cultural forms. This blending of cultures reshaped identities and created a rich, diverse cultural landscape. Traditional Indian dance performances, for instance, sometimes incorporate elements of British influence, and fashion often sees a mix of traditional Indian attire with British styles. In today's globalized world, understanding this complex legacy is essential for navigating the challenges and opportunities that arise. The fusion of cultures has led to a dynamic and diverse society, where global products and ideas are seamlessly integrated into the local context. The British Empire may be gone, but its cultural impact endures, visible in the ruins of colonial buildings and the historical landmarks that dot contemporary Indian cities. This legacy serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of our world and the enduring power of culture to shape our lives, influencing how we interact, communicate, and understand each other across different cultures and societies.